The winner will keep their world title dreams alive, and the loser, their world title dreams, they will turn to ashes.
I want this more than people realise. I think people underestimate what it's taken to get here. There's not a way it's being taken away from me.
I feel like my level is above what he's going to bring. Fabio Wardley does have a big right hand, but I've seen this before. It's nothing new to me.
Credit to what you've done, and I pose a very different problem.
Fabio Wardley's face is going to get punched in. How you feeling, Jim? Good? Yeah. Ready for Saturday? Yeah. When did I first walk into a boxing gym? I think I was about 11 years old. Most of the training I'd done before that was with my dad at home. My dad's named after Jack Dempsey, so he loved the sport of boxing and then sort of passed it on to us, and I found a love for it myself. And once I sort of, I think 16, 17 years old, I started traveling around the world representing New Zealand on the world stage. Azerbaijan, India, Serbia. I felt like I had a pretty good amateur career. You know, what you do as an amateur really helps set you up for when you turn professional. And there was a time when my dad said maybe boxing isn't really a thing that I should be doing or chasing, but I just said to my dad at the time, it's too late. I love the sport and this is what I want to do.
The very common thing to say about me is white collar background and started very late, etc., etc. I've had to do my learning very much so in the ring. I know a lot of people in their careers have to do that, and you have your learning fights, but mine were serious, like big learning fights. Like this is a whole new thing. Every fight was like something completely new that I'd never experienced, whether it was a bigger show, it was a bigger fight, or a different kind of fight, or a bigger event, whatever. That probably gives me an extra bit of fire of people going, oh no, he was on the GB squad, oh he was ABA champion this, he was that, and I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. Just you wait right there, I'll go show you something quickly. Probably in the early starts of my career, I found it a bit aggravating and annoying, but as things have progressed and things have gone forward, and as I've proven myself, I like actually, it's kind of flipped on its head where I actually enjoy that kind of tag a bit, and I say, look, I am evidence of a different route. As long as you have commitment, love for the sport, as long as you want to give yourself to it and throw yourself in, then you can make something of yourself. And I think that's just it's a fantastic thing to be able to open up boxing to a whole different avenue of people that love and care for it and want to do something within the sport, but haven't necessarily gone the typical route, to give them faith, give them confidence to someone to look at and go, actually, well, if he can do it, then why can't I?
Most fighters that come into boxing, the dream is to become champion of the world. And to be able to become champion of the world at 24 years old and tick that off, not only for myself, for the team that I had at the time, for my dad, for the countries of New Zealand and Samoa, that was a special feeling. The comparison is it's a massive difference, right? The me now is, I look back and think, how did I become champion of the world at 24 years old? Obviously a close fight with Andy Ruiz, and I was driven, I was motivated back then, but not to the point where I am now. It's very, very different. The losses for me were learning. Like the losses were, you know, you lose to a guy named Anthony Joshua, then you come straight back and you want to get straight back on the horse and you fight a guy named Dylan White and you lose again, and then you're thinking to yourself, what needs to change? And then you keep going, you get some more wins, and then you lose to Joe Joyce, and that's when I really questioned a lot of things. I learned from those losses, I learned that you need to have the best balance. You need to find what works for you. The best moment in my boxing career is now, because I love what I do every single day. I understand what I'm doing. I have a great team. Here in Ireland, I have the best of both worlds. I've got my family here, I live up the road, and I've got my team here. And it's been a long journey, you know, a lot of building, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. But sitting here now, I love it now. I love what I'm doing now.
It's one of those fights that I remember when, like, obviously saying to Frank, like, I want a big fight, I want one of the big names, and saying it, and then when you get the call to say, all right, cool, it's done, you've got this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, here we go. Like, I believe him at that level. I believe I can beat him. I believe he's beatable. But also, the competitor in me, the challenger in me, likes a good test. Like there were some other names in there and some that I didn't get that little buzz about, that little bit of excitement. Obviously, Usyk is the man at the moment. He's got all the belts, but if I can't get my hands on him, then who's next in line? Who's the next best thing? That name was Joseph Parker to me, so no holding back, let's get stuck in. Don't get me wrong, he's been in there with some massive punches, some of the biggest punches in the division. So they'll take confidence from that, but credit to what you've done. But I am not those men. I'm very different. I pose a very different problem. As I'm about to do my ring walk or whatever else, I'm always saying to myself, home sweet home, because that's how it feels. Like I feel like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. And once I get in the ring, I'm like, yeah, this is what it's all for. In that specific fight, that moment, I was thinking about the process of sequences that led me to get that punch off and for it to land. I threw out a tester, it worked, he did what I needed him to do, so I pulled off, redid it, but then followed it with a right hand instead, and it landed perfectly.
Unbelievable! Fabio Wardley losing virtually every single round, and he fights a jackhammer. Oh my word!
You know what? I'm a different fighter to all those fighters that he's fought before. Very different, and I'll show you on the 25th.
When you look at the likes of Justice Hooney, the likes of Fraser Clark, do you think you're just a level above those guys?
I know I am. I've been in the sport longer than they have. I've had the ups, I've had the downs, and now I'm on my way up again. I feel like my level is above what he's going to bring. Fabio Wardley does have a big right hand, but I've seen this before. Many, many times. It's nothing new to me. We're not going out there looking for knockouts. It just happens.
He's been down before in his career. He's always got back up as well, so I think he'll be quite comfortable in the fire, to be honest.
Walking towards the fire. I love the fire. He's done exceptional, but let's see if he can get up to that next level.
We've come against them before and we're 1-0 up with Dillian White, so we've heard it all before. And I can only see it going one way, and that's a KO from Fabio Wardley.
What's his name? Magic?
Magic, yeah.
He can say whatever he wants to say. He's not the one jumping in the ring. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing what he says. And Dillian White won that fight because of a nice headbutt. Doesn't Dillian White looking after Fabio Wardley?
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be good to smash him. And then just say, hey, you know what? Better luck next time.
First time I ever saw Joe was years ago. Tyson Fury said, there's this young heavyweight in New Zealand and he's fighting all these hard guys, you know? So I looked him up. The next time I saw Joe was in Dublin Airport. First impressions is the same impression I get today. A gentleman, dedicated fighter, and serious, has a serious desire to become the best in the world. He can do things as a heavyweight that not many fighters can do in that division. He has the full range of punches, he can move, he can box, he can fight, and now he can punch as well. It's a good fight, it's a big challenge, and Joe wins it. It cements his place as the top contender to challenge Usyk. Fabio can only beat who's put in front of him, and he's done that. He's beaten everybody and knocked most of them out. And he's a professional fighter, Fabio, and he can punch, and he can box, and they'll have a good game plan. So we'll have to be ready. I think the fight catches fire pretty early. I think Joseph wins by knockout.
I'm Rob Hodgins, I'm Fab's coach, and I've been training for about 10 years. I met Fab many years ago. He was on a project called Positive Futures. He's one of the kids that have been kicked out of school, and I met him on a football project, and then he came and met me a few years later when I was working for Summer Punch Boxing. You know, we want to get to the top, and Joseph's there, so to go through to the top to get to Usyk, if we have to fight the best to get there, we always do things the hard way, as you saw in the last fight, so that's the way we're going to go. I do think there's flaws that we're working on with Parker, and I think if we get our game plan right, we can pull off on the night. Sorry, Joseph, I really like you, but it's a Wardley knockout mid-rounds.
This fight is made because the winner of it will be the man who will be the next challenger to Usyk. All or nothing. It's on the line. The winner will get Usyk.
It's a very distracting thought to think of seeing your name up in lights like that. You, Fabio Wardley versus Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, look, it's great to know in the back of my mind, in the back of my head, but it's not something I pay too much attention to, not right now. Ask me again after the fight, and then I'll have a whole long speech for you.
But Joseph Parker, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. How does that sound?
Say it again.
Joseph.
Say it one more time. You know what? It sounds good.
There's a lot on the line for this. There's a lot in place for it, and it's everything I've been working towards. Every fight has been aimed towards this goal of getting a world title shot or fighting for a world title. And I'm within touching distance. I'm right there.
The end goal is to be champion of the world, unified, undisputed. But the goal now is just to smash everyone in front of me. Put it in front of me, and I'll, go out there and do my job.
It moves my career, my story, my name into a different space, because getting past Joseph Parker will one way or another either lead me into a world title fight or the world title itself, and that puts me in a whole different realm of category, of fighters, of names, of places you want to put my name.
And I know he's got a great team. He puts in the work. He's determined. He's driven. He's got his own goals, but for me, it stops there for him. It stops on fight night because I'm still in the sport. I feel like I'm re-energized, and I'm going to use the experience that I have to put on the best performance.
I want this more than people realise. I think people underestimate what I've done to get here, what it's taken to get here.
Eventually, when the time comes to fight for a championship of the world, take it with both hands.
There's not a way it's being taken away from me.
Fabio Wardley's face is going to get punched in.